Everyone talks about the freedom of entrepreneurship. Being your own boss. Building something meaningful. Controlling your time. Creating jobs. Changing an industry. And perhaps, one day, becoming financially independent. Social media shows successful founders entering beautiful offices, announcing funding rounds, speaking at conferences, traveling internationally, and celebrating rapid growth. But that is only one side of entrepreneurship. Few people show the months without a reliable salary. Few show the customer who refuses to pay. The investor who suddenly withdraws. The prototype that fails after months of development. The partner who becomes tired of the uncertainty. The children who still need food, stability, and attention while the business is consuming almost every available resource. Few show the founder sitting alone at night, trying to decide whether to invest the last available money, reduce costs, change the product, or stop completely. Entrepreneurship can create freedom. But before it gives you freedom, it gives you responsibility. It can create wealth. But before it creates wealth, it may expose you to financial pressure. It can create recognition. But before anyone recognizes you, you may work for years while almost nobody understands what you are building. So before you register a company, resign from your job, or invest your savings, answer one uncomfortable question. Are you prepared for the reality of entrepreneurship, or are you only attracted to the dream? This video is not designed to discourage you. This video is not designed to destroy your ambition. It is designed to protect it from poor preparation. Starting a company is not a simple walk toward freedom. It is an uncertain journey through responsibility, competition, rejection, financial pressure, personal development, and constant decision-making. You may succeed. You may create something valuable. You may build a company that changes your life and improves the lives of many others. But the possibility of success does not eliminate the possibility of failure. A serious founder must hold both realities in mind at the same time. You must believe strongly enough to begin. But you must also think clearly enough to calculate what could go wrong. Optimism gives you energy. Realism gives you protection. And disciplined preparation creates the bridge between the two. The question is therefore not whether you are fearless. Fearlessness can become recklessness. The better question is, can you identify the risks, reduce the risks you can control, prepare for the risks you cannot eliminate, and continue acting without pretending that failure is impossible? That is calculated risk. And calculated risk is one of the first tests of entrepreneurial maturity. Before we continue, subscribe to CELFA and give this video a thumbs up. This series does not sell entrepreneurship as an easy path to wealth. We examine the decisions, systems, responsibilities, and realities behind sustainable business success. And as you watch, do not evaluate an imaginary entrepreneur. Evaluate yourself. Because by the end of this video, you will complete a practical founder readiness check that may reveal whether you are ready to begin, whether you need more preparation, or whether this is simply not the right moment yet. Entrepreneurship begins with responsibility. Many people say they want to become entrepreneurs because they want freedom. But freedom is not the first thing entrepreneurship gives you. The first thing it gives you is responsibility. Responsibility for the customer. Responsibility for the product. Responsibility for every promise you make. Responsibility for costs, taxes, contracts, suppliers, employees, and deadlines. When you are employed, many problems can be escalated to a supervisor or another department. When you are the founder, the chain of escalation eventually ends with you. If the customer is angry, it is your problem. If the product is late, it is your problem. If the cash account is almost empty, it is your problem. If your team does not understand the priorities, it is your problem. That does not mean you must personally perform every task. A good founder delegates. A good founder builds systems. A good founder brings in people who possess stronger skills in specific areas. But delegation does not remove responsibility. The founder remains responsible for ensuring that the necessary work is organized. Before asking whether entrepreneurship fits your personality, ask whether you genuinely want this responsibility. Some people do not want to build companies. They simply want to escape their current jobs. Those are not the same objective. Leaving an unpleasant manager does not automatically prepare you to manage customers, employees, finances, and uncertainty. Do you want to create value and carry responsibility? Or do you only want someone else to stop controlling your schedule? Be honest. Your motivation will be tested when the excitement disappears. Calculated risk is not gambling. Every serious business contains risk. The customer may reject the offer. The market may change. A competitor may copy the idea. Costs may increase. Technology may fail. A partner may leave. Regulation may make the business more difficult. The goal is not to eliminate every risk. That would make entrepreneurship impossible. The goal is to understand the difference between courage and gambling. A gambler focuses mainly on the potential reward. A calculated risk-taker studies both the reward and the possible loss. Before investing, the founder asks, "How much money can I lose without destroying my basic life? How much time can I invest before I must reach a measurable result? Which assumptions must be tested before I commit more capital? What is my maximum acceptable loss? Which event would force me to stop, adapt, or change direction? What happens if the company produces no meaningful revenue for 12 months? What happens if an investor changes their mind? What happens if the most important customer leaves? What happens if the product takes twice as long and costs twice as much as planned? And the most uncomfortable question: if I lose everything I am willing to invest, what happens the next morning? Can you still pay for housing? Can you buy food? Can you maintain health insurance and essential obligations? Can your family survive the loss without entering a crisis? Can you return to employment? Can you rebuild? A risk is not calculated simply because you call it calculated. It becomes calculated when the downside has been identified, quantified, and limited. Never risk money whose loss would destroy people who never agreed to carry that risk. And never use confidence as a substitute for a contingency plan. Risk capacity and risk appetite are different. You may be emotionally willing to take a large risk. That is your risk appetite. But your actual financial and personal situation may allow only a limited risk. That is your risk capacity. A young founder with few obligations may be able to survive a long period with limited income. A parent supporting children, paying a mortgage, or caring for relatives may face a completely different reality. Neither person is more courageous. Their responsibilities are different. A responsible founder considers 3 categories of loss. The first is a loss you can recover from. You may lose a limited amount of savings, several months of time, or an unsuccessful prototype. The experience may be painful, but your basic life remains intact. The second is a loss that can severely damage your future. This may include excessive debt, personal guarantees, lost housing, or years of financial instability. The third category involves losses imposed on other people. A partner may lose shared savings. Children may lose stability. Parents may risk retirement money. Employees may lose income. The more people affected by your decision, the more careful your preparation must become. Entrepreneurship requires courage. But mature courage includes knowing which risks you have no right to impose on others. Is your family truly aligned? A startup is often described as the founder's journey. In reality, it can become a family journey. Long working hours change relationships. Irregular income changes household decisions. Stress enters conversations. Vacations are postponed. Family time is interrupted by customer emergencies. Savings that were originally intended for housing, education, or retirement may suddenly appear attractive as business capital. Before starting, ask, Does my partner understand what the next 2 or 3 years could require? Have we discussed the possibility of little or no founder salary? Have we agreed on how much family money may be invested? Which savings are completely protected? How much weekly time remains reserved for the relationship and the children? What happens when the business needs more money than planned? At what point do we stop investing? At what point do we change the business model? At what point do we decide that the current plan is no longer acceptable? Your family does not owe your business unlimited sacrifice. Support must not be assumed. It must be discussed. And real agreement means people understand the downside, not only the success scenario. A partner who agrees to an exciting dream may not be agreeing to 18 months of financial instability, emotional absence, and constant stress. Clarify the reality before the reality arrives. Personal runway versus business runway. Many founders calculate how long the company can survive. They call this business runway. But they forget to calculate how long they can survive personally. These are not the same calculation. The company may have capital for product development, marketing, and employees, while the founder still lacks enough money for rent, food, insurance, and family expenses. Ask yourself, how many months can I live without a reliable salary? What is the minimum monthly amount my household requires? Which expenses can be reduced? Which expenses cannot be reduced? Do I have savings? Can I maintain part-time consulting or another source of income during the early stage? Could I begin as a side project before leaving employment? Have I separated personal emergency money from business investment money? Building gradually is not a sign of weakness. For many founders, it is intelligent risk management. You do not always need to jump from full-time employment directly into complete uncertainty. You may validate the problem while employed. You may build the first prototype in stages. You may speak to customers before investing heavily. You may wait until early demand creates evidence. The most dramatic path is not always the smartest path. A founder does not win by suffering more than necessary. A founder wins by using limited resources intelligently. Can you function under pressure? Entrepreneurship creates multiple sources of pressure at the same time. A product may be delayed while a customer is waiting. A supplier may increase prices while the bank account is shrinking. A team member may leave during an important delivery. Your family may need your presence while the business needs urgent attention. Stress resistance does not mean you feel nothing. It does not mean sleeping 4 hours every night and calling exhaustion ambition. It does not mean becoming aggressive, emotionally unavailable, or impossible to work with. Stress resistance means remaining sufficiently stable to think, prioritize, and act. Ask yourself, when several problems arrive together, do I become organized or chaotic? Can I separate urgent issues from important issues? Can I make a decision without attacking the people around me? Can I ask for help before the situation becomes destructive? Can I recover after a difficult period? Can I maintain basic routines that protect my judgment? Your company will often reflect your emotional state. A founder who creates panic during every problem will build a team that hides bad news. A founder who refuses to acknowledge stress may eventually make poor decisions. The goal is not permanent calm. The goal is responsible self-management. Can you work alone without applause? The public image of entrepreneurship includes conferences, teams, interviews, and celebrations. The daily reality can be extremely quiet. You may spend hours researching regulations, preparing financial calculations, correcting documents, contacting customers who never respond, improving a proposal, writing emails, testing a product, organizing data, studying competitors. And sometimes you must do this alone. Can you work when no manager is watching? Can you maintain discipline without immediate praise? Can you continue when your friends do not understand the project? Can you produce results during weeks when nothing exciting happens? Some people work extremely well inside an existing structure but struggle when they must create the structure themselves. That does not make them incapable, but it identifies a skill that must be developed. Entrepreneurial independence is not simply doing whatever you want. It means organizing yourself when nobody else creates the schedule. Do you understand the field you want to enter? Passion is valuable, but passion does not replace competence. Before entering an industry, ask, do I understand the customer? Do I understand how buying decisions are made? Do I understand the technology? Do I know the competitors? Do I understand the regulations? Have I worked inside this industry? Have I spoken directly with the people experiencing the problem? Which knowledge do I possess? Which knowledge am I only assuming? A founder does not need to know everything, but the founder must know what is missing. If you lack technical knowledge, you may need a technical co-founder or specialist. If you lack sales experience, you must learn or recruit someone who can sell. If you do not understand regulation, you need competent legal or industry advice. Passion may start the journey. Domain competence prevents expensive mistakes. And humility helps you build the team that your idea actually requires. Do you understand business? A strong product is not yet a strong company. You must understand basic economics. Revenue is not profit. Profit is not cash flow. Growth is not automatically financial health. Funding is not customer demand. And a large valuation does not mean the company can pay its bills. Can you calculate your costs? Can you set a price? Do you understand your margin? Can you prepare a simple budget? Do you know how long customers take to pay? Can you identify the moment when the company will need additional cash? Can you manage contracts, responsibilities, and deadlines? Can you recruit, delegate, and evaluate performance? You do not need to become an accountant, lawyer, engineer, salesperson, and manager simultaneously. But you must understand enough to recognize when a decision is dangerous. A founder who refuses to understand the numbers is not protecting creativity. That founder is avoiding responsibility. Real builders, real difficulties. Successful companies often look inevitable after they become successful. They were not inevitable at the beginning. Apple began in 1976 through the complementary work of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, with Ronald Wayne also part of the original founding arrangement. Wozniak brought the technical creation. Jobs helped transform the computer into a commercial opportunity. The lesson is not that one heroic person built everything alone. The lesson is that vision becomes stronger when it is combined with complementary competence and execution. Sarah Blakely started Spanx with a personal investment of approximately $5,000. But the money was not her only resource. She had spent years selling fax machines and later training salespeople. That experience taught her how to approach customers, explain value, handle rejection, and continue after hearing no. Small capital became powerful because it was combined with persistence and sales competence. Strive Masiyiwa had already built an electrical contracting business before attempting to create a mobile telecommunications company in Zimbabwe. When the existing monopoly and political system resisted him, he spent years in legal battles before Econet received a license to operate. His story shows that founders may compete not only against companies, but also against monopolies, regulation, bureaucracy, and political resistance.
I'm Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos left a stable career to build Amazon. But he did not begin without education, professional experience, or support. He later explained that his parents provided much of the initial startup capital from their life savings, while understanding that the investment might fail. Amazon began with a very small team in a garage and opened its online store in 1995. The lesson is not that support makes the achievement less real. The lesson is that risk affecting a family must be openly understood and deliberately accepted. These stories are not guarantees. Hard work does not automatically produce success. Sacrifice does not force the market to reward you. Many people work extremely hard and still fail because the product, timing, economics, or execution is wrong. The correct lesson is this: successful founders combine effort with learning. They combine belief with evidence. They combine ambition with competence. And they combine risk with preparation. Can you sell and survive rejection? Many people want to create products. Fewer want to sell them. But a founder sells constantly. You sell the product to customers. You sell the vision to employees. You sell the opportunity to partners. You sell credibility to suppliers. You sell the future to investors. Can you ask someone to pay? Can you explain your value without using complicated language? Can you listen when customers criticize your product? Can you receive 10 rejections and still contact the 11th person? Rejection is not always proof that the idea is wrong. But repeated rejection contains information. A mature founder does not only endure rejection. A mature founder studies it. What pattern appears? Is the problem too weak? Is the price too high? Is the timing wrong? Is the message unclear? Is the buyer different from the user? Every rejection should either improve the offer or improve the founder's understanding. Persistence or stubbornness. Founders are constantly told never to give up. That advice can be dangerous when misunderstood. Persistence means remaining committed to a meaningful mission while learning and adapting. Stubbornness means protecting the original plan because admitting an error feels painful. Persistence protects the mission. Stubbornness protects the ego. Can you change the solution when customers reject it? Can you change the price? Can you change the target customer? Can you accept that another person's approach is better? Can you abandon an expensive feature? Can you stop investing in a direction that evidence no longer supports? Flexibility does not mean changing your entire vision every week. It means responding intelligently when reality provides new information. A founder must know when to continue, when to adapt, when to pause, and when to stop. Stopping one project does not always mean abandoning entrepreneurship. Sometimes it means protecting your resources for a better opportunity. If this reality check is more valuable to you than another video promising easy success, subscribe to CELFA and give this video a thumbs up. Share it with someone who is thinking about starting a business. Not to discourage them, but to help them prepare before money, relationships, and years of work are placed at risk. Now take the founder readiness test honestly. Do not answer as the person you would like to become. Answer as the person you are today. The CELFA Founder Reality Test. For every question, give yourself 0 points if you have no clear answer or plan. 1 point if you understand the issue but remain only partially prepared. 2 points if you have evidence, a concrete plan, or relevant experience. This is not a scientific personality diagnosis. It is a preparation check. Question 1. Motivation. Do you want to solve a meaningful problem and carry responsibility? Or do you mainly want to escape your current employment? Question 2. Family alignment. Does your partner or family understand the financial, emotional, and time-related consequences? Have you agreed on clear limits? Question 3. Personal runway. Do you know how many months you can live without reliable business income? Are essential personal reserves protected? Question 4. Maximum acceptable loss. Have you defined how much money and time you may invest? Do you know what happens if you lose it? Question 5. Stress capacity. Can you remain functional when several serious problems occur simultaneously? Can you seek support without losing control or denying the problem? Question 6. Independent discipline. Can you work consistently without supervision, recognition, or immediate results? Question 7. Domain competence. Do you understand the customers, industry, technology, competition, and regulation? Have you identified the missing expertise? Question 8. Business competence. Do you understand costs, pricing, cash flow, budgeting, and basic management? Can you recognize when expert assistance is required? Question 9. Selling and rejection. Can you approach customers, explain value, ask for payment, and continue after rejection? Question 10. Flexibility. Can you change your assumptions, product, or strategy when evidence proves that your original approach is weak? Question 11. Persistence. Can you continue through slow progress without confusing endurance with blind stubbornness? Question 12. Support and complementary competence. Do you have access to people who can challenge you, advise you, or provide skills you do not possess? Your maximum score is 24. Now let us interpret the result. Your founder profile. 20 to 24 points, the prepared founder. You appear to possess strong preparation across personal, financial, and professional dimensions. But preparation does not prove that the idea will succeed. Your next task is validation. Test the customer problem before investing heavily. 14 to 19 points, the high potential builder. You may possess entrepreneurial potential, but several gaps remain. Do not ignore them. Strengthen your financial runway. Improve your business knowledge. Speak with your family. Gain industry experience. Build a complementary team. You may be ready to prepare seriously, but not yet ready to risk everything. 8 to 13 points, the passionate but exposed dreamer. Your ambition may be strong, but enthusiasm currently exceeds preparation. This is not an insult. It is a warning. Begin with smaller experiments. Keep your income. Learn the industry. Build reserves. Talk to customers. And reduce the number of assumptions before increasing the amount of risk. 0 to 7 points, not the right time yet. At this moment, entrepreneurship may place too much pressure on your finances, family, skills, or emotional stability. That does not mean you will never become capable. It means the responsible decision may be to prepare first. Sometimes the strongest entrepreneurial decision is refusing to start before the foundation is ready. Entrepreneurship can reward you beyond what an ordinary salary may provide. It can give you ownership, impact, freedom, influence, and perhaps significant wealth. But before it rewards your ambition, it will test your discipline. Before it gives you freedom, it will test your responsibility. Before it creates wealth, it may test your finances. Before it builds your reputation, it may test your confidence in silence. And before it strengthens your family, it may expose every conversation you avoided having. Do not start because entrepreneurship looks attractive. Do not start because someone online promised quick money. Do not start because you dislike your manager. And do not risk everything simply to prove that you are courageous. Start because you understand the problem. Start because you have developed relevant competence. Start because the people affected by your decision understand the risk. Start because you have calculated what you can afford to lose. Start because you possess a plan for surviving the downside. And start because you are prepared to learn, adapt, sell, lead, and continue when the excitement disappears. A dream shows you what may be possible. Preparation determines whether you can carry the journey. The world does not need more unprepared founders chasing appearances. It needs responsible builders who understand that every business decision affects customers, employees, families, and futures. So ask yourself one final time. Are you only dreaming about entrepreneurship, or are you preparing to become the person capable of carrying it? This is CELFA. Think strategically. Prepare realistically. Build responsibly.